I'm Ami, this is Matt, and this is Vu. And whoever said hi, hello.
Hello.
So our topic is the job outlook, students and recent graduates. An outline of what we're going over today. I will be talking about the first article, No One Should Have to Work for Free. Matt will be talking about the second article, Millennials Battle Resistant Debt, Jobless Woes. And Vu will be wrapping this up and telling us how this all pertains to us. The story of Chloe Diaz. Chloe Diaz is 20 years old. She's an unpaid intern at the Los Angeles Women's Shakespeare Company. She currently works 6 days a week. Her mother, who became an immigrant from, became a maid after immigrating from Colombia, has trouble helping her with her $15 a week bus fare. She wishes I was getting paid, Chloe said, but I think I will reap what I sow. Putting in more time now will help me later. So many college students like Chloe are willing to do anything to further their chances of getting a good job after graduation, including work for free. But many people don't realize that these unpaid internships are not only unethical, but they may also be illegal. This brings us to Mikey Franklin and the Fair Pay campaign. When Mikey Franklin was 24 years old in 2013, he began job hunting. He had a wife and a family, so he could not afford to work for free anymore. But all of the employers that he was looking at only wanted unpaid interns. Frustrated, he decided to found the Fair Pay campaign. The Fair Pay campaign is a grassroots effort that decided that it want to end unpaid internships in America. The message behind the campaign is simple. No one should have to work for free to get ahead. In 2011, the Federal District Court judge in Manhattan ruled that Fox Searchlight Pictures was violating federal and New York minimum wage laws by failing to pay 2 interns on the movie Black Swan. In 2011, this was the first case of its kind, but by 2013, 20 other lawsuits appeared against companies such as Hearst Corporation, Atlantic Records, Gawker Media, and NBC Universal. All of these court cases cited the Fair Labor Standards Act and the Fair Pay campaign as their defense. The Fair Pay campaign has 3 main principles: paid, educational, and advertise openly. In order for internship to be paid, interns must be receiving at least minimum wage, which is $7.25 or more in some areas. In order for an internship to be educational, they must provide real opportunities for the students for professional development. In order for an internship to be advertised openly, they must not just be offered to the boss's nephew. They must be posted online clearly and transparently for anyone, just like any other job. The Fair Labor Standards Act was the rest of their defense in these court cases. The Fair Labor Standards Act, or FLSA, cites that an employer using unpaid interns must provide training and gain no immediate advantage from the intern. If the employer still must do the work an intern failed to do that day, they are gaining an immediate advantage. In fall 2014, I personally had an unpaid internship at an accounting firm. The first thing that they made me do on the first day of the job was sign a contract that said, I understand I'm not getting paid, I will not sue for any pay in the future, and that they are gaining no immediate advantage from me. If only I would have known about this before the internship, maybe I wouldn't have signed it. So why do unpaid internships still exist? Although the Fair Pay campaign and the Fair Labor Standards Act are trying to eliminate unpaid internships, they're never going to be able to eliminate it completely. This is for 4 main reasons. The first reason is that students just need experience in the field. Everyone always says in order to get a good job you need experience, but until you have an internship it may be hard to get that. The second one is that laws are not as clear in the public sector. The public sector alone holds half of unpaid internships, but laws may not be as clear as the private sector, so we may not be able to get rid of them. The third reason, nonprofits may call their unpaid interns volunteers in order to get away with not paying them. And the fourth reason, although many colleges require you to get internship credit before you graduate, some colleges also prohibit students from getting paid while receiving this credit. Luckily, UTD doesn't have that problem. You can get paid and receive credit at the same time. Oh, and the Fair Pay campaign also has plans to hire organizers and build global coalitions in order to remove unpaid internships. The Nation is a weekly magazine that previously offered their interns $150 for working full-time. Now they offer minimum wage. The next, company that the Fair Pay Campaign plans to target is the White House. They have 300 unpaid interns a year that work 45-hour work weeks. And I will give it to Matt to talk about the second article, Millennials Battle for System Debt.
Okay, so the second article is mainly statistics and numbers, and I'm going to try to do my best to make it interesting for you guys. So the first person that this article talks about is Kamina Tripathi. I'm probably not pronouncing her name correctly, so bear with me. Kamina graduated from Southwestern University in Georgetown in 2013. Even though she has a degree now, she's working 2 part-time jobs totaling over 70 hours a week and has to use food stamps to buy groceries just to make ends meet for her home. Tripathi, who's 22 years old, is claiming that she feels trapped in the lifestyle she's living. This is due to the mounds of credit card debt that she's racked up in college, the lifestyle of living paycheck to paycheck, and the dismal job market has really been getting her down lately. Tripathi's struggles are not only for her, but they are the new norm for our generation of young adults who are facing staggering levels of debt, unemployment rates, and joblessness. However, don't lose all your hope after hearing these things. A college degree still improves the odds of getting hired and earning potential when out compared to those without one. Americans with a 4-year degree earn an average of 98% more than those without one. Next slide, please. So for youth unemployment, millennials that have recently graduated are still faring worse than Generation Xers, baby boomers, and the silent generation. Young people are resorting to both long-term and short-term debt to finance education and pay other bills that they're facing. This is partly because of the decrease in state spending on higher education. Since the recession in 2008, 49 out of 50 states have cut per student spending on higher education. Since then, 28 states have cut higher education spending by over 25%. To put this in perspective, nationally, the average tuition for a 4-year public university has increased by over 20% since 2008. This is why millennials are considered the generation of debt. For those of you who, for all of us at UTD, put this in perspective, in 2008, the tuition for 15 credit hours was about $4,925 a semester. By 2012, this number has gone up to $5,796. For the same 15 hours, almost an 18% increase in tuition. This does not include any textbooks or food or any other inflation things that have gone up over those years. So Americans between the ages of 18 and 24 are almost 10% less likely to have a job than they were a decade ago. However, over 1 million people in our age group are considered idling, which is becoming a big problem in today's society. People who are idling are people who are not pursuing a degree in school or currently looking for a job. This is a problem because it alone raises the unemployment rate for youth from 14.5% to 18.1%. Texas has attempted to fix the idling problem, but researchers have said this is not going to do any good, and the only way to solve this is through an overall economic recovery. So, billions in debt. So the next person I'm going to talk to you guys about is Caleb Gaines. Caleb Gaines is much like one of us, anyone who's going to pursue an MBA or anything. He was able to rack up over $100,000 in student loans just from his undergrad and MBA at Belhaven University in Jackson, Mississippi. After his graduation, his monthly payment for his student loans totaled over $1,000, and this doesn't even include his rent and other expenses that people normally incur after college. In order to pay for this loan, Caleb had applied to over 200 jobs within a year of graduation all over Texas, ranging from Tyler to Dallas to Austin. He finally landed a job in Austin that is completely unrelated to his degree that he earned at Belhaven. Americans, much like Gaines, have been able to owe over $1 trillion in student loans. 8 years ago, this number was just half of that, at $461 billion. The worst part is that students are not just taking out these loans, but they are also defaulting on them. Over 10% of borrowers have defaulted on their loans in 2011. This is the highest rate we've had since 1995, which was at 10.4%. Now I'm going to pass it on to Boo to wrap it all up and tell us how this pertains to us.
Thank you, Ben. So now that Ami and Matt have presented the problems that millennials are going to be facing, I'm going to show you how it all ties in together and how it might be a challenge for us since we're going to be the ones looking for jobs in the near future. So there's a case of Jennifer Nelson. That's not her, by the way. She graduated from Bryan College in Tennessee in 2011 with a degree in theater. She couldn't find a job, so she moved in with her boyfriend and his family, and they all relocated to Allen here in Texas. She found a job working for Sonic, making minimum wage, and she wasn't going anywhere with that job. So her boyfriend decided to go back to school to become a chiropractor. Then she wanted to go ahead and get an MBA and hopefully run his practice when he gets out of school. And her school cost her to be about $80,000, and it's kind of hard for her to support herself at making a minimum wage job and going to school. So a huge problem is recent graduates are not having enough entry-level jobs because employers want experience for entry-level jobs. Their mindset is, why pay someone salary when you could pay someone for way less of a cost and you don't have to pay them benefits? Then there's also the kinds of internships that do not pay. People can barely support themselves with minimum wage jobs, let alone someone working for someone free in order to get the experience for them to get into the field that they want to be in. There's also older generations not retiring as much because they can't afford to. They need to stay in the workforce as long as possible to support themselves. After the recession in 2008, companies have downsized. They are not able and willing to hire as much as they used to. So how is this everyone's problem? Experts are saying that people are not buying new cars, they're not buying new houses, new furnitures, they're not putting money back into the economy as much as they used to. And people are also moving back home to live with their parents to cut costs because of the increase in debts. Between 2007 and 2012, the number of 18 to 24-year-olds living at home grows by 5%. The shrinking workforce and lower wages are also causing less Social Security funding. There was $6.8 billion less in contributions in 2011 than in 2007. Experts are saying these trends are causing the economy to stagnate. So before we conclude our presentation, I just want to bring your attention back to Jennifer Nelson. We found her LinkedIn, and she's now working as a retail associate at Michael's. Her highest position she ever got was working as a shift manager at Sonic after working there for 10 months. Doesn't seem like she's pursuing her MBA anymore, so we wonder if she might have gave up on mentoring. And this is just another example of a recent graduate in today's economy. And I will pass it over to Matt to read off the quiz.
Okay, so while Ami and Boo pass out the quiz, number one, what does FLSA stand for? Number two, the blank in Washington, D.C. hires 300 unpaid interns a year. Number three, name one reason that unpaid internships still exist. Number four, millennials are considered the generation of blank. And number five, blank, or after blank, many companies have had to downsize.